Hey guys, Fizz here. The gameplay we got going on in the back here is just some Halo 3 on Last Resort. I go like I think I get like 7 or 8 kills. I get like 9 assists, but I only die once, and I'm pretty proud of this gameplay here. But of course, we're not here about the gameplay. We're here to talk about the next console generation. You know, a lot of people are asking me about, you know, how I think this generation is going to end, how long I think it's going to go on for, and, you know, what this next generation is going to be like with the PlayStation 5 and whatever the next Xbox is going to be called. And so, you know, I think that these generations, these last 3 generations, alright, if you include this generation we're currently in, have been a bit of an odd bunch, alright? So you have the PlayStation 2 versus the Xbox, and they both sold incredibly well. Obviously the PlayStation 2 is, you know, one of the best-selling consoles of all time, and is a really, you know, a great console that's near and dear to my heart. And then on the Xbox side of things, you know, you have things like Halo 1 and 2, which like completely blew up the market, and you had like these huge revolutionary games that, you know, were never possible before in any of these consoles. Then you jump forward to the 360 and PS3 generation, and then you have the 360 coming out a year earlier, getting just such an early lead, a huge jump in graphics, all these, you know, major improvements, you know, the addition of integrated Xbox Live, just all the social features that came with that console. And then you kind of have this generation, which is in a weird spot. Obviously, there was a graphical leap and a technical leap as, you know, as the hardware improved and as you know, the controllers got redone and things like that. But people haven't really seen that leap, that gigantic difference in games. You know, games that aren't really possible. I think that games like Crackdown, obviously with cloud integration, you know, fully destructible environments, things like that, at least multiplayer. I think that is something that's only possible on this generation. But, you know, when I look at games like, you know, the huge games that people are playing, you know, Destiny, Call of Duty, you know, Metal Gear Solid, those are all games that are not only possible on last generation, but are on last generation. Granted, they're a lot worse on last generation, but they're still there. They're still prevalent. A lot of people are still waiting on that game that makes them say, yes, this is next gen. And, you know, some people have been, you know, saying that there has been games like that. I remember feeling that way a bit with Titanfall for just, you know, a couple days, like, oh man, this is like really cool, unique, and fun. I mean, of course, that eventually did get a last gen release, but I remember thinking that way with Titanfall for a little bit. And then, you know, a little bit more recently, I thought that about the Order 1886 until I realized that the Order 1886 is pretty freaking boring, but that's beside the point. We're not here to trash on Order 1886. We're here to talk about when I think we're going to get another generation and what that generation is going to be like. So, my prediction is, I think that 9th generation gaming is going to start in 2018. Well, the 9th generation as we know it is going to start in 2018. Obviously, the Nintendo NX is going to be the first iteration of the 9th generation, which I firmly believe, and all the evidence supports this. I think we're going to see it either next year or the year after. So 2017, we're just going to go with 2017. We'll say 2017 the NX comes out, right? People like it. I think early 2017. Maybe like, you know, May, March area. I think we're going to see it in 2017, but I don't think we're going to see any PlayStation or Xbox news until E3 2018. So at E3 2018, I think Microsoft and PlayStation are both going to announce next generation dedicated gaming systems. PlayStation 5 and whatever the hell Microsoft is going to call their next Xbox. Xbox Infinity. For now, we're just going to call it the Infinity, alright? So I think we're going to see the information about that, kind of like the big reveal. I don't think Microsoft is going to hold their own reveal like they did with the Xbox One. I think that they're going to do it all at E3. Probably at the end of the conference, or maybe in the middle, and then start talking games, at the second half. You know, maybe like, or maybe at the beginning. I mean, wouldn't it be kind of cool if they get up on the E3 stage and say, all right, I know you guys are expecting games. We're gonna show you our freaking new console and all the games that are coming out for it on launch. You know, this holiday on launch, all this stuff. You know, just something crazy like that. Like Microsoft and Sony, they both just got up on stage and just immediately went into, here's our new console, here's all the stuff it can do, here are a bunch of games that you're going to be able to play in just a couple months. That would be great, kind of like the Fallout 4 method, where they just give a quick teaser, and then all of a sudden E3 comes around and they're just like, hey, so here's our game, and just here's everything just laid out on the table. Here's just all the crazy stuff we're doing with it. That's kind of how Fallout 4 approached their marketing, and I think that was great. So I think we're going to see it in 2018 with the next PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Infinity. I think they're going to do the same thing they did this generation, launch within a couple weeks of each other. I think Microsoft is going to learn from their mistakes, and no Kinect, no bollocks like that, just a dedicated 100% gaming machine. I think that they're still going to be pushing 1080p. I know that 1080p is like the standard right now, but I think that they're going to, at least in the early couple games with the next Xbox and the PS5, I think they're still going to be pushing 1080p just with an increased frame rate. I think that we're going to be seeing more action games at 1080p 60, like games where you would say, oh, that can stay at 30 FPS. I think that they're going to be pushing frame rate more than anything. And then I think later on, those games that try to, really be edgy and push the boundaries, I think those games are going to be 1440p. We're not going to see 4K this generation. I think the max output is going to be 1440p, but I think we're going to get some games in 1440 on these next consoles. I really do. Honestly, if they just make a really awesome, powerful games machine that's got some great launch titles, first party and otherwise, it's going to be a good generation. And so that's what I think is going to happen. I think we see the NX 2017, and then the PS5 and the Xbox Infinity, or whatever it's called, winter of 2018. That's my prediction. Obviously, I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. We could wait all the way until 2020 and still have no word on new consoles. I mean, it's kind of what happened with the 360 and the PS3. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not, though, because honestly, I don't think that the hardware in the PS4 and the Xbox One can stand another 10-year cycle like we had with the 360. Anyways, that's all for this video. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay classy, guys.